Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Mission Pro Unmatched. I'm Front Row. Joining me, as always, is the best host from the West Coast, Trenda Magellan. What's up, Trenda?
Hey, front row. Oh, another wonderful Thursday in the sunny California world. The heat is kind of going down, so I'm getting a lot of 80-degree weather, which I'm enjoying. So hey, I think I'm living the life right now.
Yeah, it's cooling down here, too. It was like, I don't know, 58 this morning, which is cool for here. Got up
Yeah.
to like 85, but
And that's about what it's been getting up to here too, as well. So, which is a big change for us. So I'm enjoying this weather right now.
this is my favorite time of year. I didn't like the fall when we lived up in the Northeast for most of my life. And the fall usually meant like by September it was cold and by October you might have snow. So it's like everything came to a screeching halt. But here in the South, here in Charlotte, the weather's usually pretty good through December. Then we have like a month or so of cold weather, and then it starts to heat up again. So I don't mind it so much.
Yeah. I pretty much get the same rotation over here. So, like I said, right now we're getting some cool weather. Usually, I'm in the hundreds, the low hundreds at the least, and so it's been good the last couple of days. Just enjoying it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Man, we got a lot to talk about. So much stuff has happened. It seems like every time we have a show, like the next day, more stuff happens. The whole wrestling world
Oh
is
yeah,
changing on a daily basis.
turning upside down as we know it.
It feels like it. We got a bunch of people in the chat already. Tony Justice is out there. I see Brent and I see Matthew and of course Mongrovian Mike. I'll have to put this
Go
on.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start off with the rougher news. We'll just touch briefly on this. I don't want to go into too much because it's sad. Like today, there were layoffs today at WWE. There was a bunch of talents that were released. I know there was some office, some administrative releases last week. It sucks, but a lot of people find bigger opportunities. A lot of people have gone on to do some really, really cool things after spending time in WWE. Maybe they weren't being used. You never want to be out of a job suddenly, but I mean, look at a guy like Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona went out there and just set the indie world on fire. There's a lot of men and women, I think, who will still show up in prominent places.
Oh yeah, totally. I totally agree with that. I mean, it's always a sad situation when there's layoffs, and it's almost inevitable when there's some type of merger, going on between companies, because you always seem to have, double the amount, at least what the higher ups think, double the amount of staff of what you need to run certain areas, because they usually kind of go parallel in most companies, especially when you have a merger. So, and then there's usually this big idea of, now how can we make up for the merger, and then the monies that we're trying to invest in, and then there becomes uh, the sad occasion when they start looking at who's not going to make the cut for the new merger and for the new company. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. I tell you, one of the names that did kind of surprise me was Dana Brooke, because I thought she was really gaining some momentum. I really liked her work in NXT. It's probably the best, my favorite version of Dana Brooke since she's been in WWE. And I have to think that a veteran like her had a lot to offer the locker room.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with you to a degree. I haven't always been the a Dana Brooke fan, but in NXT this last few months that she's been there, it has been some of the best work that she's done, almost to the point where it's made me even want to see whether or not she can go up to the main roster again, and start something new, or start something better and creative. Maybe they'd have a better storyline, or better spot to put her in. But at the same time, for me, it's not exactly a shocker. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think she's been sort of on the cusp for a number of years, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm again, I was just surprised because it felt like she was doing some bigger things. So, well, I hope she finds something good because she's very talented and she's incredibly athletic.
Yeah,
So,
she definitely has a lot of great years left under her belt. Maybe we can see her in another promotion. Impact is doing great things with their women's division. Even if I don't know how that works as far as AEW to Ring of Honor, but even if she was just to be like a straight Ring of Honor, you know what I mean? Employee to where she could go over there and just utilize her veteran skills with those women in the ring and just kind of show them a different side of things, because I know a lot of those women haven't had that WWE experience, and it is a different experience from what I've heard, so she could do something great over there too in that sense. But yeah, hopefully
yeah,
she.
I hope it works out for her. And, good luck to everybody that found themselves in that situation today. Emma's another one that I saw her. We were at the Ring of Honor show that she made her surprise debut years ago, and I thought that she did a really good job building a new character throughout her time in the Independents and through Ring of Honor. And when she came back to WWE, I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. Like, I think there's a
Yeah,
possibility here. The character is cool, like, but they
not
didn't.
even just that, because I watched Emma through her transition over to Impact, and
Mm,
I watched her build that character up. And she didn't actually, I don't believe she actually won a title, but she went for the title. She was in the title shot running for quite some time. And that character and just I want to say just the spirit she got in the ring over there, and then to have them bring her back, I was so excited because Emma was such a no pun intended, impact an impact, and she was doing so much good work over there, and she was just really good. So when they brought her back, that was like, wow, that was such a great thing. And then she didn't even really get used as much. I kind of honestly forgot that she was even on the roster, to be honest with you. I'm not even gonna lie. When we were talking about it, just mentioning it in our little group chat or whatever, and just mentioning everything. I'm like, dang, I honestly forgot Emma was there, which is, unfortunate in itself. So yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, I agree. So, hopefully she's finds something as well. On a positive note, before we dive into the week in women's wrestling, I wanted to pick your brain because my favorite thing that I saw in the last week was the Netflix show Wrestlers.
Oh,
And for those of you who haven't seen it yet, it's a 7-part, basically like a docudrama type of thing, but it focuses on Ohio Valley Wrestling, on OVW and Al Snow and new ownership and all the wrestlers there. And there's drama, there's business, there's just it gives you a really interesting insight into the world of independent professional wrestling. I don't think all of it is 100% accurate. Some of it is for TV, but it was I wanted to get your thoughts on like the show overall. Did you enjoy it?
oh, oh my goodness! As a series, yeah, I binged it. I just binged it, and it is a great show. I mean, I really think it gives you a lot of depth of the ins and outs of what it takes for bookings, what it takes for a promotion that is trying to, make it in the world. Like at one point in time, I think Al Snow called themselves the third tier, promotion. They're not like main event like WWE and AEW, but they're not like, smaller independent shows either, because so they're also a promotion like Mission Pro that so
Mhm.
many eyes are actually on them, because, they have a chance of at some point in time the WWE look to them to actually see where the future was, and who was going to be beheld in the WWE world. So
Mhm.
it as far as the show overall, though, I just like again, the backstage stuff, the working with the
Tony.
talent, the disagreements amongst management, the kind of got a little PTSD at some points and times there. I'm sitting here like, this is a little familiar to me. At the same time, however, I really feel like it does give you a very good depth of what running a promotion is like, even with income, all of that. Just just trying to make it work and figuring it out, and yeah, yeah.
So a couple things. First of all, I have to give Tony credit for quoting Doc Holliday from my favorite movie of all time, Tombstone. You may leave now. That is a great movie. And Tony also says that Al's temperament reminds him of Tommy. Very much so. Al Snow is very never gets angry, never
Oh
gets
my
sad, never
goodness,
gets
he
happy.
is so monotone, mono mannered, just mono. He's just there. And I'm like, okay, like, and I get it too, because then you do have other people who are very emotional and very passionate, and they show, everybody's different. They show their passions in different ways. But, it's like, it's so many people there that they're looking at him and they're just like, I just want a little love. And he's not able to do it.
No.
Uh,
No, in fact, there's one scene, not to spoil anything for folks, but there's a scene where one of the owners says we lost a boatload of money and in just not making enough money to break even for the shows. And Al's like, okay. It's like six figures too, right? It's like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Like, okay, and it's more so of a, now we must move on and see what's next.
Yeah.
Okay, that is what it is.
But you're right, it's a struggle because they tell that story of, the person writing the stories and doing all that creative stuff has an idea for what it would take to make an incredible show. And
Mhm.
then the folks, the administrative team has to come in and say, okay, this is our budget. We need, these two aren't lined up. We have to figure this out. And I think giving fans some insight into, oh, we'd love to see our favorites on every show. And you go, okay, well, but that's not financially possible, or booking dates don't line up, or there's a
Yeah,
lot that goes into it. It's an interesting show. I think I highly recommend folks watch it.
yeah. I wonder what those eyes mean that Mrs. Front Row gave.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I'll ask later. Maybe she knows something I don't, which is probably usually true.
Ah,
Okay.
great show, though.
More
Anybody who
good
has,
news.
go ahead and
More
watch
good
it.
news. If you want to see, if you're in the Carolinas or you are anywhere in driving distance of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, every year we go to WrestleCade, usually as fans. This year we'll be there at a Mission Pro table. Mission Pro will have a presence at WrestleCade this year.
Yeah,
If you want to meet any of us, the team will be there. Thunder will not be there. Thunder works Collision. Everybody knows she works Collision on Saturday nights. So don't want to set any unrealistic expectations. But you can meet us. We're cool people. We
yeah,
might have a few surprise guests that you will definitely want to meet. So we'll announce that in the coming weeks. But it's going to be a lot of fun. That's on November 25th. We'll be there on Saturday. WrestleCade runs Friday through Sunday. I think we will
yeah.
primarily be there on Saturday. So, but we'll be there all day.
It's
Trenda will
gonna,
be there.
it's gonna be a good event. Come say hi. Come say
Yeah.
hi.
I have been trying to talk everybody into going to WrestleCade for years because Mrs. Front Row and I always have a blast. There's like 8, 9, 10,000 fans. They have like over 100 wrestlers. It's just a really cool event. They have the big super show at night. There's stuff going on Friday and Sunday, and there's a ladies' night out special on Sunday, and
All
put on
right.
by Title Match Network. So yeah, it's gonna be a blast, and I'm super excited that y'all are gonna be there this year, and we'll have merch.
Oh,
Come buy merch.
come get
Maybe,
merch.
maybe some special things that you can only get at the show. Who's to say? Who knows?
Ooh.
I can't say. I'll have to talk to our merchandise people.
Yeah, you put in a request for me.
Okay.
Make, make sure we get some good stuff.
Okay, we'll do that. Yeah, Miss Rora says, Come say hi. See, we've got to get Tony out to a WrestleCade too. Tony would have a blast.
Yeah, and Tony's also a great guy to come meet. Yeah, best truck driver in the world.
Look at him trying to get some. He just wants me to put his comments up on the screen.
Hey.
Hey, it worked. It worked. It was effective.
Oh.
Okay, so I am getting very, very excited for Thriller. We recently had on Morgan Mercy was on Unmatched last week, and then we talked to Veda, and I talked to Gypsy Mac on a mission on this week. That's going to be a great match. Everything's heating up. If you're paying attention to social media, Maya World and Izzy Moreno have been going back and forth. A lot of the folks that are on the card are really putting it all out there. So I think it's going to be it's going to be one of those cards that people are going to wish they either saw live or they were there in person for. So if you're going to be in the San Antonio area on October 21st for Mission Pro Thriller, get tickets at missionprowrestling.com, and you can email us for sponsorship opportunities. There are still some sponsorship opportunities available. Email us at missionprowrestling@gmail.com. Make sure to watch us on Title Match Network, 6 p.m. Central. All of that stuff. It's just going to be an awesome event. So,
Yeah.
what about Mongrovian, Mike? What did I do? What did I do?
So just to piggyback a little bit off of what you said, Thriller is going to be a great event. These ladies are really putting it all out there. As you said, there's some feuds that are going on, some brand new feuds that are happening, some feuds that people have been thinking about as far as their career. And hey, I'm looking forward to it. I think each one of these matches has a potential to be a banger. So Thriller is going to be something that I think everybody is going to be super surprised for, because every single match has got something great going on. And yes, we're going to have that coffin match, Elder.
Yes. Yeah, Black Swan has answered JP Harlow's challenge, his open casket challenge. There'll be a casket match. That's going to be crazy. And as we mentioned, also Veda Scott, our very own Veda Scott's going to be there doing commentary and also judging the costume contest. Yes, make sure you dress up. I think we're all going to be dressed up as well. Have you picked a costume yet?
I've been thinking about exactly what costume I'm going to wear. I've been putting some deep thought into it. So I do want to wear something where I am not recognizable at all. So looking forward to that. Looking forward.
Okay.
You will not be able to recognize me unless you just know that's me. That's what I'm going for.
Okay. I look forward to it. I have an idea. Someone, our very own Neil, made a suggestion, and I think I'm going to run with it. So you'll have to wait and see. I still have to order it.
So yeah, that's definitely going to be fun and within itself. I'm looking forward to that.
Yep. Very cool. All right, let's jump over and talk some women's wrestling. So, man, I'm looking at the list. I always just sort of throw a list together of all the cool stuff that happened during the week. I'm going to start with SmackDown last week. Now, obviously, the big news from SmackDown was The Rock's return, right? I mean, that doesn't really impact our women's wrestling storylines, but it was the biggest news at that moment on the planet. So
it impacts women of the world. Let's just put it like that. Because I'm not gonna lie, if everybody in the world knows what that means. It's like playing, name that tune. It's like literally two tunes. And I swear I was sitting there and I got goosebumps all over my arms. I was sitting it is what it is. It's The Rock. I mean, just throwing that out there. We can move on to back to women, but hey, he made some women very happy that night. How about that?
Probably.
I totally was on the edge of my seat for everything. So yes.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah. It was very cool. I don't know where they're going with all that. Maybe it's a one-off. Maybe there's something down the road. But you're right to the point where I think even Rock mentioned that he wanted to do something so special that it would impact the locker room, men and women, that it would give them something special that would elevate everybody. And he has a bigger with a guy like a star of his magnitude has a different level of responsibility when he shows up,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I mean, I saw I saw a lot of the WWE stars literally waiting in line like it was a meet and greet to take pictures with him backstage.
Exactly. And that's what it is. That's what it is. He has such stardom and just the world. Not even just the wrestling world, and just the world, to the point where top wrestlers, top superstar wrestlers that we pay to see, that we watch on television weekly and every night in this wrestling world, were lined up as groupies and fans and ultimate marks, waiting to take pictures with The Rock. And I can't blame them. Like, I mean, it's like a one, if it's a one-off, it's definitely a one in a lifetime opportunity for some of those wrestlers, as they were there with him. So
Yeah, most definitely. But also on that show, Asuka defeated Bailey. Shotzi was a run-in by Shotzi. She's got this. I'm not entirely connecting with Shotzi's new character. I love the look. The look is very different, very cool. I like that they were teaming her with Charlotte doing some stuff, but Charlotte wasn't in the mix here, and I was a little confused by it, but I thought the match with Bailey and Asuka was very good. You can't ever go wrong with either one of them. So
yeah, I kind of, I agree on that. The Shanti thing is a little confusing now. The look definitely is good, but they haven't followed up with anything to really kind of give her some depth. I mean, she's coming down still in her tank, and then at the same time, she's kind of interfering, kind of like a heel. She's um it's for me, it's a little bit all over the place. It's like it's no defining line to where she stands or what she's going for or whatever it is. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, but I miss Charlotte. Like, where is she?
well, she was on the previous week.
I know,
So
but I just say though, it's like a week without her. It's just like, where's Charlotte?
yeah, I don't know. So, but really for this week, I want to focus on a couple of people specifically rather than going over match by match. I think that Becky Lynch is doing some incredible stuff right now. And this is a woman who's main evented WrestleMania. She's been there, done that. She's won everything in the company, and recently won that NXT Women's Championship,
Yeah.
which elevates her to the Grand Slam man, right?
Hey.
But
Yeah.
she was on Raw this week. Issued an open challenge. Natalia answered, and Natalia, I don't think enough people talk about Natalia. I always sing her praises. She's an incredible behind the scenes coach and just a technical wrestler. I love this match. I thought this was just a fun thing to have on a Monday night.
Yeah, and that's what it was, because it didn't have any backings, it didn't have any groundings to it. It was really just which open challenges do. Open
Mhm.
challenges don't have necessarily a story to it. But again, Natalia coming in and making that open challenge as great as she is within her own right. Of course, it was going to be a great match. So that's definitely something I was expecting. And Becky right now, whoa, like they did, if they had, I don't know where she listed at in the what is it, the PG top
Well,
for
the
women,
the PWI Women's Edition doesn't come out yet. I don't
for
know.
women. But from what I'm seeing, she better be pretty high up on that number from the work that she's been doing lately on all the shows and just being who she is as the man. So I'm looking forward to see where she lies on that list when the numbers come out for the women.
Well, yeah, because she was in a backstage segment. She had the open challenge, and then on NXT, she teamed with Lyra Valkyria against Tiffany Stratton and Kiana James. and then of course they have that match, and then at the end, Tiffany Stratton does the beatdown, and Becky is like, "Okay, you want to go? Like, we're gonna have a match at the next live event at No Mercy," and she made it an Extreme Rules match. So we're gonna get Tiffany Stratton versus Becky Lynch in an Extreme Rules match at No Mercy. Which,
Yeah, I'm looking
okay,
forward to it. Yeah,
I'm all in on that.
and like Tiffany said, it's time. I want my rematch.
Mhm.
And she deserves her rematch too. She worked hard for that. I wasn't a fan when she first got that belt, but she changed my mind over time. And especially that match with her and Becky, even though it was like the end of a saga for her because she lost that title, but it was like such a beginning of a new saga for her, as a wrestler, as a person, as a talent, at least in my world, because I'm like, wow, now I want to see what this girl got, and I'm looking forward to see what else she does. So let's go. Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
Well, and I wonder too, because I wonder if they planned on that match being like sort of it, but it went so well in my mind, in my brain. I'm like, it went so well. Let's just do more of this, because obviously Tiffany stepped up to the plate. She
Why
worked
not?
well with Becky. Let's run it back with some additional stakes. Let's raise the stakes on this one.
Why not?
Um,
They can do a story on them for quite some time. I mean, again, she is the former champion, so that in itself gives her a right to say, "Hey, I want a rematch." So that in itself is a story, and then to just give it different types of rules, and just have them go back and forth. And because, just like you said, because that first match was so great, as a fan, it's making me look forward to what else they can do together. I mean, they
mhm.
chemistry in the ring was just awesome. I mean, they that was an A1 match right there. So I'm looking forward to see what else they can do in the ring. And I'm looking forward to the story they're gonna tell. And you never know. Tiffany might get to the point where, she might win her title back. She was that good on that night, and like they said,
Mhm.
it only takes 3 seconds. So you
Yeah,
never know.
that's very true. So my other spotlight of the week, and I know you'll appreciate this, uh, on Dynamite, Tony Storm challenged Saraya for her world title, and the match was fine. I'm not, I don't want to talk about the match. I want to talk about Tony Storm's character and the videos that she's been doing with RJ City, the new entrance in black and white, like
Oh
all
my
of
God.
it.
It's so awesome. I love it. It is so awesome. The black and white vignettes with the Marilyn Monroe-ish, type of vibe, and and it's skittish at the same time, but that she can snap back into this like double personality to where she's ready to kick some butt in the ring. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. At this point with that story, and the way they're playing that, I think AEW is doing great. If they give me more of that, I'm with it, because even though she didn't win the match, she so got over. Like, she got over it, and she is playing that role. I was about to say something. She is playing that role, and I am loving it. I love it. I love every part about it. Can't wait to see what else is gonna happen.
I mean, to be honest, like when I first saw her dressed in the new appearance, I was like, she sort of had sort of a house coat, and it was maybe she was just sort of dialing into it. I wasn't really into it. The following week, like, she figured it out, and then
Yeah.
the vignettes started and the interviews started, and that thing that she did with RJ City, as I mentioned, was hilarious.
Oh my
I
God.
won't repeat the tagline here just to keep it PG, but they made a shirt out of that tagline, and it's hysterical. I'm so happy that she's found a groove, because she
Oh
is
my God,
ultra
yes.
talented.
And the thing about it is, I hope they keep it up. I want to see more of it. It's going great. It's starting off great. Let's keep it going, please.
Yep.
That's all I can ask for is please.
Okay, and last but not least, one of my favorite people for this week is Chris Statlander. And
Yes.
um, Chris Statlander defended her title, her TBS title against Britt Baker last week on Collision. Chris Statlander carries herself like a world champion that's been champion for 10 years. Like
Yeah.
she walks and talks like the person that she's supposed to be. And I
Yeah.
just I can't wait until is the world champion.
So for what impressed me about her at one particular point was I forget what the last pay-per-view was, because we paid for like double of the week. I forget which one it was. But at the post show, and when she came on at the post show, and she was answering questions, and they were interviewing her and everything, but the way she came off, again, she walked in there as a champion should. She made a couple of jokes, but she was very serious. She was very, into what, like, this is my belt and I'm going to defend it against anybody, which we hear a lot of champions say. Every majority of all the champions, especially baby faces, when they get a new belt, this is my belt and I'm going to defend it, and we get the big speech and everything. But when she said it, when they asked her a question, I believed her. I believed her. I was like, yeah, this is what she wants, and this is what she's gonna stand up for. And then, like you said, she had that title match, and of course kept her championship. And again, uh, when she gets a chance to actually be the AEW Women's Champion, it's gonna be something great. It's gonna, because the crowd is already behind her, 110%. And the
Mhm.
things that she's doing in the ring, every week is getting better and better. Another person who I want to see every week. You know what I mean? Not in the same match with Tony Storm, so it can be just that one women's match and they can ball it all up in like it's like little 6-minute thing. Spread it out a little bit. Make sure they both get their own equal time, but every week, like amazing, amazing. They did something right there too. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really happy to see it, and I would love to see her do a series of open challenges as well to give. They have a pretty, a very talented, deep roster on the women's
Oh
division
yeah.
in AEW. Get some more people some opportunities. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, there's a lot of women over there. There's a lot of women over there, and I don't believe majority of them are hurt. So let's line these ladies up and let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Let's
I'm
get
with
them.
it.
Let's get them in the ring.
I hear you. I hear you. Make it happen. Make a phone call.
If I had the pencil,
I have a pencil.
I don't know what good that's going to. But yeah, yeah, we can see.
Oh man, I don't know. Okay,
Ah,
so I like to end the show and ask you like what cool things are going on in Impact, because it's another show that I'm supposed to watch that I really want to watch that I
okay.
don't get to watch.
Okay, so Impact had their 1,000 episode um, show last week and part two tonight. And I am not gonna lie, I really was trying as I was driving, because the women's match was the last match. I'm mad. I'm mad because I'm looking forward to this. And you know how sometimes they do like one of them the great matches in the beginning. I'm like, okay, hope maybe it'll be the first match. Maybe it'll be the first match of the night so I can see it. So I'm literally trying to get home to make it to the show with the phone on and in the car speaker, and I'm like, oh, they announced it, talking about the women's match will be the last match. I'm not gonna be able to see it. I'm not. I'm not. However, there is a great women's match, a 10, if I'm not mistaken, a 5-on-5 match. Some great legends in there, such as Gail Kim, and the amazing Awesome Khan, that they brought back for this.
I know somebody that got to interview her once.
Oh yeah, yeah. Someone was very nervous, and when I say Khan is awesome, she is awesome in every way. I really appreciate her allowing me to do that interview Miss Kia, as she told me to call her. And but they brought some two great legends back. The return of Tasha Steeles, like, oh, she's back, and oh my God, I love Tasha Steeles. They got, of course, the Impact Knockouts champion Trinity is in the match. They got Jordan Grace. They got Deanna Peraza. They got everybody who's anybody is in this match tonight. Actually, it's over now. I gotta go catch it. I gotta
Okay,
go,
but
but
the names you just listed in that match, you could build an entire pay-per-view around just those people.
Mickey James. How could I forget? Mickey James is in this match as well. I'm just been trying to make sure that I got everybody just off the top of my head. But oh my God, this is um Impact 1000, and just that in itself, it has some great matches. Like anybody who's ever been on Impact was in a part of this, and it brought some great memories back. Got to see a couple of people that I love the most, a cowboy or two, like just everything. If you are not an Impact fan, if you do not watch Impact, please. It's so underrated. Like, people are not giving it the love that it deserves, because they tell stories. They got great matches. The women are highlighted consistently. There's so many times, especially in the last, I want to say, couple of years, where the women have been the main event of each and every pay-per-view. Like, the Impact is doing things right. There's so many people over there that just yeah. But I gotta go catch this match. I just it was the last match, man. Like, like 5 minutes before showtime.
Yeah, Mongrovian Mike does. Okay. So for folks that don't know us, we did the Nation's Corner. We were at Empower, NWA
Yeah.
Empower, and Trenda and I and Tony Justice and Neil and Mrs. Front Row. We were all there, and we did a series of interviews. They're all up on our YouTube channel on the Nation's Corner. We did talk to Mickey James and Deanna Peraza and, oh my goodness, Awesome Kong, amongst and a bunch more people. It was a whole NWA weekend, and we get a chance to talk to a bunch of people.
Y'all came too at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we interviewed her, but we did talk to her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to interview Paro, which was awesome, because I had my Pride shirt, my NWA Pride shirt on, and that was a really fun conversation. I think Tony interviewed Tim Storm and some other people. So, but anyway, there's a lot of fun stuff. If you want to see some cool interviews with those folks from Impact, we have it up on our YouTube channel. Okay, Trenda, I know you've had a long day. I appreciate you rushing home out on the West Coast to join us. I know it's tough out there in LA, fighting the traffic. You made it again.
Made it
we
again.
Appreciate you.
My Thursday night goals.
Yeah, and we appreciate everybody in the chat, man. There's a whole bunch of people in there tonight. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Make sure to tune in every week on Tuesday for On a Mission and Thursday for this show for Unmatched. Match Monday. Every Monday we're putting up new matches on our YouTube channel. A lot more content coming out. There's a lot of stuff coming up in the next few weeks leading into Thriller. So make sure you stay tuned to our socials. Follow us across all the platforms. And make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on those alerts on the YouTube channel so you don't miss anything cool and fun, because we have cool and fun stuff.
Yes, we do. Yes.
We do. October 21st, Thriller. Make sure you get your tickets, missionprowrestling.com and missionprowrestling@gmail.com. Email us for sponsorship opportunities. Anything else? Did I miss anything else, Trenda?
Oh, I think you covered it all. It's been another great Thursday.
Man, this show flies by.
Yeah. Oh, other than it. Tomorrow's your birthday. Happy birthday!
Oh, it is. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate that. I thought you were on some wrestling related topic. Did I miss something?
The fact that tomorrow is your birthday. Please enjoy your
Yeah,
birthday.
I appreciate that. So I'll be 52 tomorrow. My 50th birthday was very special because someone from California showed up bright and early in the morning here in Charlotte to spend the
Yeah.
weekend, and it was really cool.
Yeah, yeah, we had an awesome time that weekend. You had no idea I was coming in.
None.
That was great.
No,
If
no.
only, you never know. You never know. You never know. I might be there in the morning. You never know.
I have to work.
Aw.
We have to listen to Busted Open. Tomorrow's Thunder and Tommy. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. I can't wait.
I
I
adore
can't
both
wait for
people,
the
but
show. I can't wait.
it's gonna be awesome. All right, guys, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna see y'all next week. Have a
Bye.
great night and enjoy your weekend. We'll see you.